So, James and Jack from Pastel, hello. How are you doing?
Hello. Good, man.
Good.
Yeah, I'm amazing. Thank you. Today, I wanted to just kind of introduce you guys to a lot of my viewers who have heard of you, but not seen the faces behind the music. So I was hoping you guys could introduce yourselves and just kind of tell us what you play and what your role is in the band.
Okay, my name's James.
Good name.
Yates. Yeah, the best name. My name's James, and I play rhythm guitar, backing vocals, and I also play percussion as well. I play bongos and stuff like that.
I'm Jack. I don't do as much as James. I just sing.
He also writes the majority of the songs as well, so he's underplayed himself a bit there. But so you've got Joe, who's the lead guitarist, Joe Anderson, Liam O'Shea, who plays the bass, and then Reese Wheeler on the drums.
Brilliant.
That's the five of us.
Rock and roll. So a lot of my viewers won't know this yet, but you guys are actually the support act for Liam Gallagher at Knebworth on Friday night, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Outstanding. That's the night I'm there. Me and my missus are going to be there as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, no way.
We'll be there to see it. We'll be there in the audience cheering you on.
Yes.
So how did that happen? How did that come about?
Basically, we started working with a guy called Charlie Lightman, who is Liam Gallagher's director, but he's also like Louis Tomlinson's director.
Paul McCartney now he's with.
Paul McCartney's he's out at the minute in America with McCartney. He seen a video of Deeper Than Holy on Instagram,
yeah.
messaged us and was like, "Oh, we'd love to work with you." We were kind of like, "Yeah, fuck off, mate. Do you know what I mean?
We can't
can afford
afford
that." And he was like laughing. He's like, "No, I know that. We'll do it for free." He just went back to an hotel and we just like got wasted in an hotel. It was really good though, but we really got on with him and we became mates with him. So since then we've kept in touch. So he's got us things like we did the Pretty Green advert, which he got us. So like we starred in the advert and they put our song over it. And then from doing that advert, then he was telling Debbie, who's Liam's missus and his manager, he was like, "Oh, you got to check out this advert I've done with Pastel." And then she went, "Yeah, no, Pastel. They just put that EP out. They got to #1, didn't they? Blah, blah, blah." So then jokingly, kind of like tongue-in-cheek, he said, "Oh, you should put them on Knebworth." And then she kind of like, yeah. But he said when he said it, it was more like a passing comment. Didn't really think anything would come from it.
No.
And then, yeah, that's how it came about.
That is mind-blowing. That is absolutely mind-blowing. You're playing on stage at the event where there is the biggest chance of any event ever where Noel might be the John Squire who walks out at the end. You're playing at the biggest shot ever that there ever is.
I could just walk out instead.
James playing guitar.
So what's the odds of you getting up there and doing a cover of a High Flying Birds song then?
Nah. No, you cut the sound off.
To be fair, I've not thought.
Actually, that might be a good idea. You should start it something like that.
You know, you'd be on the front pages if you did that.
Oh,
yeah.
So have you actually met Liam yet?
Not yet, no.
I'm assuming you will get the chance on the day.
Well, I hope so.
We know of each other.
He does like our stuff.
Yeah.
From what I've been told. Well, he says he likes his stuff. But hopefully we get to meet him as well. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? To kind of like meet one of your childhood heroes.
How did the band form? How did Pastel come to be in the first place?
Me and Jack are from Manchester originally, but now we live in South Wales. So to cut a very long story short, I moved down to Wales because my dad came into rehab in South Wales when I was a kid. So we were going to go and watch the Stone Roses in Wembley. So Jack got the train down to here, and then I was going to drive my car from here to London, right? So as we got in the car and we got about half a mile down the road, my car broke down. Shitbox. It just it literally just fell apart. So we're like, fuck's sake, what we're going to do? So we come back home, but because we were so skint, we couldn't like just get a train or anything. We had to get a coach, and it was like it was like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, 3 in the morning.
Because we had to get like the cheapest option. That night, instead of obviously going to bed, because we had to stay up to get the coach, we stayed up and I was playing the guitar. There's a band that we like called Shack. It's like our favourite band. And I was playing one of their songs called Hazy, and Jack was singing along. And obviously me and Jack are a bit like grown up with each other. We're like a similar age. We're like brothers. I'm thinking, since when could you sing? You've never sung in your life. What? And then my dad come down the stairs and come in the room and said to me, he was like, was you singing then? I was like, no, it was Jack. And he's like, fucking hell. And then my mum comes down and asked who was singing. And everyone was just like, since when could Jack sing? This is all. So anyway, we got the coach. We went to London, stayed in a brothel. That's another story.
Bloody hell.
When we got the coach back, we got back into Swansea, and I said to Jack, what time did you train back to Manchester? And he goes, don't know. He got his wallet out, looked at his ticket, and he went, oh, about 3 hours ago. I'm like, fuck. So I said, look, just come to mine now, stay mine tonight. But then when we got home, and because we'd already established that Jack could sing, we were like,
forced me to stay down here. Forced me.
We had 2 pairs of boxer shorts, 1 pair of jeans.
Packed for a weekend, and then I'm staying here 6 months.
No, it's been about 3 years now.
No, it's more than that. 5.
2017.
Been here now. Time just goes when you're here.
So yeah, basically he came down for a weekend, and then we just started a band, and then the rest is history, as they say.
Is the brothel story off limits, or can I ask about that?
You know, like I said before, we didn't have money for the train. It was just we didn't have money for an hotel, so we booked what we thought was a hostel.
It was in a place called Kensal Green. Horrible in London.
It's arse. But yeah, it wasn't intentional. We didn't we'll stay in a brothel. We got there. And
it was a dungeon.
It was horrible. Basically, we were sat in the bar when we got there, and then there was these girls that were working there.
Served us tea.
And then blokes would come up to them and speak to them for less than 30 seconds, and then they'd fuck off into a room and come out later on. And then we were like, how's he done that? How's he pulled it that quick?
How's he done that?
But I need to get... And then it was like, after you'd seen it happen about 3 or 4 times, you kind of clicked and you were like...
There's a back... You could walk... I walked past the kitchen at one point. I think it was in the morning. I got a cup of tea off this same bird that got pulled, to the back room. So I walked down there past the kitchen, and I'd seen a door, like, ajar. And there's, like, a big bed with, like, love art pillows downstairs behind the kitchen. I'm like, this is just reet off. This is dirty.
So how did the band get signed?
Basically, we kidnapped Jay's family, tied them up. So there's a venue in Swansea called Sin City. So he'd put this gig on. So me, Jack, my girlfriend went. And then afterwards, when we were leaving, we were going back into my mate's car, and I was having a piss in the alley. And I seen Jay getting into his car, right? So my girlfriend starts talking to him. She's like, oh, my boyfriend's in a band. As I'm like finishing off my piss, he goes, hey, are you called Pastel? And I was like, how do you know? And he said, oh, when I was in there, I was talking to the sound engineer, and I asked him, what's the music scene like in Swansea? And he said, oh, it's all right. He said, there's not much going on. He said, but this one band called Pastel, he said, there's these 2 brothers from Manchester, and they've got something about them or whatever, blah, 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 really picked us up. He basically just word of mouth, but it just so happened that we
met him after the gig, after hearing about us.
What is it about Manchester and South Wales? All of the best indie acts are constantly from Manchester and South Wales, and yous are a Manchester band in South Wales. What is going on?
Crazy, isn't it? It's something in the water, right?
Yeah, it's something in the water.
And every serious, indie rock band goes to the South Wales studios as well.
The old, like the Stone Road, like Rockfield is just
the most
that's
infamous.
That's the one in it. Do you know what I mean? You name any band that's ever come from the UK that's done well for themselves, and they've all gone to Rockfield.
When can we expect the album? You guys have released a bunch of absolutely top-notch EPs. I mean, Deeper Than Holy is the best-known one, but when can we expect the first debut album from Pastel?
So we've got another EP in the works now.
It's been recorded.
It's all done. But what Jay wants to do this time is, as soon as we've got Knebworth and stuff out the way, he wants to slowly start recording some of the songs for the debut album. Hopefully next year sometime. Definitely.
So where can guys find you online? Where's the best place to go on the socials to find Pastel?
So we're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. It's at Pastel Band UK. So if you go on Instagram or whatever and type that in, I'm sure you'll find us and see our pretty faces on there.
Well, lads, it's been brilliant to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I cannot wait to see you guys on stage at Knebworth.
Look forward to seeing you as well.
Rock and roll. Nice to meet you, fellas.
Nice one. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.